Sometimes you got to go through it to get through it. I'm Dom Jackson, 3BD Media, and this is the 7 Day Scoop Show, my weekly show where I document my career, decisions that I'm making, your adventure you're trying to pursue, so I use my story and my adventures to help motivate you. Man, these past 3 weeks running the van have been absolutely changing. Looking at the game from the higher level, being able to do all the positions, then understanding how to do all the positions and then lead the people that are in them, whole different skill set. What each person can do, what needs to improve on, what things can you leave them to do on their own versus things you have to make sure you're watching them on, where you can teach, not teach. There's a lot of problems that have to be solved, and you have to discover which one to focus on first for yourself and which one to focus for as a team as well. And then making sure you're putting that energy into each pot while ignoring and not doing the other things. So it's a lot of understanding what the problem is and figuring that out, which I initially didn't really get. That first week I dealt a lot with new people. So, there was a level of just like trust as far as understanding what their capacity was for what they can do, while also understanding what their, what to teach them. Then the second week, it was with a team of more vets. But then it was just like, all right, how do we make decisions as a team so that we can make decisions fast enough to get things done in the time frame that we need to? This time, I'm with a newer team again, and then a lot of moving parts as far as the vet that's inside with us. So this one has been a lot more of, what to focus on, because I had 3 new people instead of having 2 at one point. And new people, what to focus on, what to teach them in a time period that we can get done, of different skill sets and different ages. And, with that, I'm starting to see the trends now, at least like what it looks like. So like, okay, vet team versus not vet team, what's it gonna look like? How many people I have that can actually do the technical department of everything, cutting and programming keys, the sales level of the team, what things I want them to say. For instance, we work out of retail stores more or less, so we can only work during the store's operating hours. And with that time constraint, you got to pick what you're going to keep and what you're not going to keep. Sometimes a return is a smarter move than actually getting the money for it. And that was something I really learned last week. But with this week, now it's like, okay, what do I tell the people on my team to make the time constraint a little different? Because normally, like, we'll get done in 10 minutes. This time, we'll get it done in 15 to 20 minutes. So, like, I already built up a longer bandwidth of it. And that was a decision I had to make sure everyone understood that uniformly. I think everyone being on the same page at least makes the whole team decision work faster. Even if I can't always make the executive decision, if the team has enough information of a general framework to use, I think that really helps out the best. And then now I have a bigger picture of the whole thing. So I can like chunk of like what the actual problem is and what the actual solution is. So if the team is like, doesn't know how to sell that well because it's first week, most of them, even third week, then it's like, what's the main thing I can show them to get them the most amount of sales so they have the most amount of paycheck? It really ends up being like minimization of the biggest problem and making sure I can at least get that done, because there's a lot of moving parts, and even if I'm focusing on one thing, I know they're doing their own thing. I don't know exactly what that thing is, but at least I know as long as they know what not to do, I can help them get better at what to do. Next thing is like really relying on your team too. So anybody who's like more vet, like you really appreciate them because you can give a simpler command and they will implement it a lot faster. But what I do want to know, like, there's definitely at least trends. I can kind of see the patterns now and kind of watch it as I break it down. But knowing what the people who know the most can do, and then having people that are like very new, having at least a structure, I think is the biggest thing. So it's like, all right, cool. The people need to know how to do these 3 things on their first day to make money for the whole operation and make money for them, obviously. Then it's like people who are vets need to know these things and be able to communicate these things to new people. Now, what these things are, I'm still figuring it out. But breaking it down is what teaches me how to like get everything in place. Because I am learning, and I'm learning fast, but also not learning fast. At least not as fast as I want to learn, because I'm like, I want to be the best, but that's just ego. You got to go through your process and your steps to get there. But I'm very excited and very happy. But 3 weeks of learning how to be a leader definitely ain't no bitch. And, just find out what my leadership style is. I'll break it more down as I understand more of what it's going to look like. But, as always, take it one step at a time and get there day by day.